Why don't we go ahead and get our meeting started? It is 12:10. Welcome Rotarians and guests to the Rochester Rotary Club, the best cloud space in all of Rochester for fellowship and service. My name is Wayne Hodges, and this is the last time you're going to hear from me as the club president.
Don't count on it.
Will you please rise and join me in reciting respects to the flag through the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will you now join me in reciting the Rotary four-way test of those things that we think, say, or do? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And will it be fun for all? Thank you. Tom Naveau. Tom, will you please guide us in today's invocation?
Let us pray. The gift of Rotary is evident on this call. Let us be a source of hope for those in need and contentment for those that are lonely. We ask for you to be with each and every one of us as we move about our daily lives, always keeping in mind the special talents that we have. Let us give gratitude for our opportunity to serve our local community. Let us be fair and kind to those in our paths today. Let us give thanks to all of our past leaders. A big thank you for our outgoing president, Wayne Hodges, and grant the wisdom and vision to plan ahead and help guide us for our new president, Ron Lichtel. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Tom. For any of you who are guests today, if you'll please look at the bottom of the Zoom screen, there's a chat feature you can click on. And if you would identify your contact information, we would appreciate that so that we can reach out to you and provide you with some information about us and learn more about you. Stuart Signer, our chair of membership committee, will be happy to get you whatever information you're looking for. Our 15th sign-on today. I think this is actually a duplicate. I don't know how you're doing it, Kyle, but congratulations. Okay, you're free of fines today as the 15th person to sign on. How about Happy Bucks? Do we have anybody that has Happy Bucks today?
It's Renee. I have a Happy Buck.
Go ahead.
So starting tomorrow, we are going to be having some outdoor programming for the month of July in our patio garden at OPC. We have a nice mix of exercise, fitness, I can't say aquatic, oh my goodness, Tai Chi, yoga, art, and just some enrichment gatherings, guitar group, ukulele group. That's all happening underneath open air tent, 30 by 60 feet, 1,800 square feet on our patio garden. So we're really excited about that. And please go to our website with all kinds of information on how to sign up for the classes. And of course, we're doing this safe and keeping people healthy. And it's wonderful. It's our slow roll to getting started with our welcoming our members back.
Renee, you need to get a slip and slide, then you can have your aquatics.
Great idea, Christine.
I'm working up a sweat just listening to you describe it. Anybody else with Happy Bucks? Hearing none? I don't see him. William Gross says, "Hi, Jeff, Jerem. What is a good email address for you?"
Oh,
I'll
that was my
send that
happy
right
book
now.
was right before that. The happy for Rotary's presidential citation for the year. Yeah, well, I think we got Vince as well. Let's got happy book on the chat.
Vince says, well, on the parks.
I'm not seeing him.
Vince says, I'm happy to have parks in our community like Innovation Hills Park to enjoy the summer weather. I think he already talked, William Gross did. Okay. William Gross, you just talked about happy for the Rotarac's presidential citation.
Yep, just a mirror what we mentioned before.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
All right, well, we'll move on then. Member birthdays, we actually have none this week. And club anniversaries, Paul Hegg, it's his 39th year as of today.
Wow.
June 30th. So congratulations, Paul. Just by way of a reminder, the Rotary Gateway Park gazebo picnic is still scheduled for July 21st. And if you want to attend, you need to register. There's only going to be about 80 slots available because we do have quite a few visitors coming with the donation. And so John Somerville is going to keep track of that. And once it gets up to about 80, he'll be cutting it off. And if you want to bring guests and we're below 80, we can do that at the last minute. But we're going to give the priority to Rotarian members first. So if you've got any questions on that, please contact John Somerville. Ernie Schaefer, are you still online or have you let Greg run you off? You're muted. Ernie?
There we go.
There you go.
You got it?
Earth
here.
calling Ernie. Earth calling Ernie. Yeah, Ernie is
As I think everyone is aware, Paul Harris is one of the most prestigious awards you can receive in Rotary. Paul Harris Awards are given both in recognition of outstanding club service, and over the past several weeks, we've observed several members of our club who have given outstanding service to our club and have been awarded a Paul Harris Award. Today, we're going to make several Paul Harris Awards for the other way you can receive Paul Harris, and that's through a financial donation. If you donate $1,000 to Rotary International, to the Rotary Foundation, you will receive a Paul Harris. So today we're honoring two of our own who have made that contribution. Jerry Carvey has submitted for his 9th Paul Harris. That's 9 Paul Harrises. He's very close to becoming a major donor. And Shirley Gofrank has made a contribution to receive her 5th Paul Harris. So we congratulate these two people. I will tell you that both these donations were made some months ago. Actually, Shirley actually made it last fall, her donation, but because she was sequestered in Florida, a tough place to be, we are just catching up to her right now. So I want to congratulate these two individuals, Jerry and Shirley, on behalf of the Rochester Rotary Club, District 6380 and Rotary International. It's our honor to award you with these Paul Harris Awards. This is just a token of our appreciation to the major support, the major donations that you've given to the Rotary Foundation. In making this contribution, you've demonstrated one of the guiding principles of Rotary, service above self. So thank you both, Jerry and Shirley. I can't give you your pins and awards in person, but I will be sticking them in the mail, so you will receive them in the next few days. Thank you very much. Let's have a round of applause for both Jerry and Shirley.
Thank you, Ernie. You said it just exactly the way I wrote it. Appreciate that. Terry of the Week Award.
Wayne,
Jay?
Wayne, you were off. You were muted, but I think you wanted me to talk about the Humanitarian of the Week award. I had a couple of ideas. First of all, I thought I might give it to Tim Crawford because he was kind enough to provide me with a key to his office to use his conference room whenever needed, and it's really come in handy when I needed a couple rolls of toilet paper every few days the last few weeks, to just drop by there and pick them up. Or I thought I might give it to Phil Lohman because of his wonderful collection of haberdashery, ties, and socks. But you know, I really couldn't settle on either of them. So what I'd really like to do, I guess, is give it to a fellow who has done a lot of work for Rotary over the years, both as chairman of membership and now working with foundation, Ernie Schaefer. He's done a wonderful job, whatever Rotary's asked him to do, and not necessarily things that he would volunteer for, but things that needed to be done, and he's been there to do them. And he's greatly appreciated by our club and by the foundation. Ernie, congratulations.
Figure out how I'm going to get even.
Well, I'm sure you will figure out how to get even, Ernie, but Greg, I would advise you to run and hide. Moving on. David Blair, I believe you're our sheriff today.
You're muted.
Need to unmute, David.
There, is that better?
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. You know, I'm just having a hard time getting back into the swing of things. I've been on vacation for the last few days, and it's kind of hard, right, to realize that you're back at work. That's why I've got the virtual background behind me. I'm just trying to cling to that time off. I didn't have the best time on vacation. It was great to get some time off, but here, look at that. I'm terribly sunburned, you know. So anyone that's been sunburned recently, maybe sitting out a little bit too long, it's a $5 fine. If you've got really pale skin like me and you burn in an instant, that's a $5 fine. If you've peeled a banana this morning for breakfast, that's a $5 fine as well. If you've had toast for breakfast, that's a $5 fine. If you've been on a boat recently, that's a $5 fine. If it's been Russ Shelton's boat, it's another $5 fine for Russ Shelton's boat there. If you can't swim, I'd also like you to pay $5. Jay Eastman, I'm not quite sure what's going on behind you. It looks like maybe somebody's been smoking back there. We might call it incense. I think we're going to go with that. It's a $5 incense fine. But I kind of looking like a hippie over there with the haze behind you. Like a hippie. If Linda's nearby, she'd be Mrs. Hippie, right? And I can't hear everybody laughing, but I know it's there. So. I'll tell you what, it is a struggle, because we did come back and it's, we're back and we're pretty much stuck in the house again. So, if COVID doesn't kill you, coming back and, having your whole family in the house is probably going to kill you. So $5 fine if you're still stuck at home with your family. Where's Christine? Christine, $5 fine for your idea of a slip and slide at the OPC. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong with that. Kyle, man, you got the 15th sign on, so I can't find you, but just question that the facial hair there, is that a permanent thing? Are we sticking with that? I just wanted to check. William Gross, I notice your dad is on video and you're not, so I'm gonna guess that you couldn't figure it out and that's a $5 fine right there. You are his son, right? Call your dad for help, get it figured out. If not, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Wayne, it's a $5 fine for using the term youngins. Youngins, what is this, the Wild West, the frontier? I don't like that word, $5 fine. Big holiday coming up, $5 if you call it the 4th of July. What do you do on the 4th? It's Independence Day, all right? My 6th great grandfather fought in the Revolutionary War. It's Independence Day. So $5 fine if you call it the 4th of July. $5 fine if you ever had a terrible accident with fireworks. $5 fine if you've lit off fireworks inside. That's not appropriate. Another $5 if you've lit off fireworks on inappropriate days. We'd be just sitting in bed and there's fireworks going on. Across it's a $5 fine. It's a nuisance fine. Finally, got no sports. Still no sports really to watch. So what are they're putting replays on? It's a $5 fine for Annette. She was watching the 2019 championship all the way through before she realized it was a replay. So it's a $5 fine right there. Lastly, Andrea Walker, you turned off your video. Shoot. Andrea, can you turn your video back on real quick? No? Okay, never mind. Andrea, you look like a reporter with the glasses on, the hair, like you're, taking notes for the Daily Sun or something. It's a $5 newspaper reporter fine right there. And, finally, with hair salons now open and, nail salons, and things are starting to get a lot less ugly out there. So
Talk about hippies, look at Phil.
that was $5 if you didn't catch that one. If you didn't pay anything, if you didn't get fined at all the money goes to charity. Reach down in your pocket, actually reach down into the text chat down below, type $5, hit send, it all goes to charity. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, David.
Check out for a moment.
Oh, do we have Phil Lohman with us now?
I'm sorry, I was a little late.
Look at him.
Well, we could give you the Dave Archibald Award for the day.
Well, a day late and $1 short. How about that?
There you go.
No, how about $20 short?
I think he's got a firecracker in his hair.
It just seemed like the thing to do.
Kiss, right, Phil?
Yeah, it looks like he's looking for a kiss.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, as you know, today is basically our Zoom version of the President's transition meeting. It's just a little bit shorter than what we traditionally do. I might add, it costs the club less, which is a good thing in these difficult times. But before we move on with the second part and the induction of next year's board, I'd like to say a few words of thanks, in particular to this year's board, which was President-elect Ron Lichtel, President nominee Dave Dooley, Secretary Whitney, Secretary Tim Duncan, immediate past president substituting for Rodney Holbert. As you know, Rodney still continues to fight his health battles. Tom Naveau stepped in. Vince Mattina is our treasurer. Steve Ayler served as the assistant treasurer. Ray Dorr is an at-large director. Cindy Andrews is at-large director. Kyle Johnson was an at-large director. And our fourth at-large director, Janet McPeak, is no longer with us. If you would just take a moment and pause. I miss Janet terribly. She was one of the kindest, one of the most Rotary knowledgeable people that I've ever met, and just a great example of what I expect the character and the integrity of a Rotarian to be. Thank you. During this past year, we've had some challenges. The latest one we're living through right now. But we've also made some attempts on the board to try and make it simpler to run the club. Simpler so that we didn't ask any one person to bear an extremely high workload. And I hope that we continue to do that. In particular, I would like to, in this short time, I can't possibly address and thank everyone, without which we wouldn't have had the smooth running club that we did, even though we had some bumps in the road. But Ray Dorr, chair of the administrative committee, Tom Naveau, chair of the social relations committee, Andrea Walker, our marketing, communications, and public relations committee, Ernie Schaefer, the foundation committee, Stuart Signer, membership, Rachel Vilas, who's going to be this next year in charge of our service projects, and Steve Ayler's continuing on to serve as the chair of our fundraising. And if you remember, those were two of the things that we picked up on from past year comments of presidents, that they thought we needed to make some improvements in how we did fundraising, in terms of not trying to ask our members just to continually pay the whole bill, but to actually reach outside the club and get sponsorships and to sell tickets outside the club. So those are all things that we made progress in, but I do think that further progress could be warranted. We now have the opportunity where no longer does a committee such as the golf committee or the golf ball drop or the wine tasting committee, which we didn't have this year, or the poinsettia committee, or spaghetti dinner or the pizza dinner. No longer do we have those committees go off and run the project all by themselves. They now get to pick up information from their predecessors that's actually written down on what worked, what didn't work, and we ask them to do the same thing so that the legacy they leave behind is to assist those that come behind them not to have to learn the same lessons all over again. And I think that's a great improvement in terms of utilizing our time more efficiently and making it simpler. I'd also like to acknowledge the setup committee. That's a very thankless task, but when we meet face to face, there's a group headed by Jerry Gross that basically shows up early, sets everything up for us, and then when our meeting's over with, tears it back down and puts it away. Every week. They do that for us, and I thank them because again, I see that as good Rotarian service, but frequently it really doesn't get acknowledged. One of the past comments that we picked up on a couple years ago is a lot of times our members really aren't sure, where's all the money go? The money that we raise and donate, where's it go? And so the past couple of years we've tried to move forward, and I want to commend our charity's president, Tom Naveau, for doing what I think is an even better improvement on every time we made a donation, bringing that group in, having them explain to our members what they were going to do, and then come back and explain what they did. with the funds that are donated. And I think now that is important that we continue to do that. Last but not least, it has been a difficult year. You know, we all learned how to spell COVID-19. And one of the things that I learned again is that when fear knocks at my door, let faith answer. And I would pass that on to anyone who has fear knocking at their door, because basically I can tell you that about 4 months ago, some of us in the leadership had serious conversation about how we're going to make sure that we have a club when we come out of this. And the first thing that we had to do was start talking about that we will come out of this. And it took some faith to be able to do that. You know, we basically did 3 things to get there. We asked the question why, which in my work experience has taught me that's always the most important question to answer, why? And we went back to the basics. What does it mean to be a Rotarian? What is the essence of the Rochester Rotary Club all about? You know, what does Rochester Hills need for the Rotary Club to be about? The second question that we ask is, how can the technology help us do that? And that's the how question. And experience has taught me that's the second most important question to answer. And then the third was, what should we do? Which again is the what, which lets us focus then on exactly what we need to go do. But by knowing why and how we were going to do it, we could then focus on the what. I cannot tell you how appreciative I am of all of you. I mean, we basically have, 40 people right now that are online with this meeting. We've had between 40 and 50 every one of these online meetings. Folks, I got to tell you, we would typically have 40 to 50, maybe 60 on our bigger meetings, people that would attend. So basically, okay, we're not only surviving, we're thriving. Vince tells me that we're actually seeing donations coming in on our little chat feature that are actually running ahead of our regular face-to-face meetings. Now, in part, that's mixing up monies that's being donated for a variety of reasons, not just fines. For example, Happy Bucks are getting mixed in with that. But that, to me, is a very solid indicator that you all still have Rotary and Rochester Hills very much in the forefront of your hearts, and are looking for what can we do and how can we fulfill our responsibility to making this a better place, not just for today, but also for our children and our grandchildren. With that, the last thing I'd like to acknowledge is that we made the decision about 4 months ago to basically defray any and all expenses that were discretionary. We also made the decision to help out our members by eliminating the cost of meals from, so that we reduced the cost from $75 a month down to $30 if you were a full regular member. Even having done that, after Vince pays our semi-annual dues, which is tomorrow, to Rotary and the district, we will have over $30,000 in the club account, which allows us to continue to go forward as a functioning club, not a club that's worried about how is it going to pay its bills this month. And that was one of the goals, is to make sure that we exited this situation, this period, and still we were a club that was positioned and thriving within the community. And you all deserve the credit for that, not me. I just got to be the recipient. And I cannot tell you how appreciative I am, because you can't possibly be a good leader if you don't have a lot of great followers. And many of you have been great followers this year, and from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate that. And I thank you for that. With that, I'd like to acknowledge and proceed with the induction of next year's board. Next year, the club has voted that I will slide over to the immediate past president and do nothing. Ron Lichtel will become your club president and do everything. David Eardley will become president-elect. Tim Duncan, presidential nominee. Jeff Whitby, the secretary. Kyle Johnson, the assistant secretary. Vince Mattina, treasurer. Assistant treasurer, Christine Haig. The at-large director, Cindy Andrews. At-large director, Ray Dorr. At-large director, Steve Ehlers. Cindy and Ray are in their last year. Steve is in the first of his 2 years. We do need to proceed here after tomorrow, fulfilling the seat that Janet McPeak had. I have not filled it since she passed so late in the year. Just simply out of respect for her, I chose to wait until the next fiscal year starts, which is tomorrow, but we do need to move forward and replace that. So, Mr. President, officers and directors, you've been elected to important positions in the administration of the Rochester Rotary Club and to guide the affairs during the coming year. All of you will be visible in your roles as role models to your fellow Rotarians and to our community. You also will be examples of good leadership and mentors of future presidents, officers, and directors. Thus, you have been entrusted with important responsibilities that will help you shape this club's future and our future leaders. This is an indication of our esteem and confidence in each of you and all of you as leaders, as a leadership team. We also believe that you will uphold the highest traditions of our club, that you will give the best of your executive ability to the furtherance of our club and of the interest of our club and in carrying forward our club's purpose via Rotary's avenues of service, its 6 areas of focus, our club's constitution and bylaws. Mr. Lichtel, you have been asked and you have been elected as to the office of President of the Rotary Club of Rochester by its members. It is an expression of if you will, please repeat after.
We lost you. There we go.
I, Ron Lichtel,
I, Ron Lichtel,
do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President
the office of President
of the Rochester Rotary Club,
of the Rochester Rotary Club.
and I will do the best of my ability
I will do the best of my ability
to administer the duties of the office
to administer the duties of the office
of the President
of the President
in a professional manner
in a professional manner
and in accordance with the club's Rotary avenues of service,
in you're going too far ahead of me.
in accordance with the club's purpose,
In accordance with the club's purpose,
Rotary's avenues of service,
Rotary's Avenue service,
and its 6 areas of focus,
6 areas of focus,
and our club's constitution and bylaws.
and our club's constitution and bylaws.
Ron, I thank you for committing your pledge to serve to the best of your ability. And as president of the Rotary Club of Rochester, it is my pleasure to present you with your official gavel, which you can now run each meeting, and to present you with your presidential pin, okay, that you can wear proudly.
There you go. I got the club.
To all of the other officers and directors coming in next year, will you please? Each of you have been elected by the members of the club to guide its affairs during the coming year. You have been entrusted with an important responsibility that will help shape our club's future and our future leaders. I now have the pleasure of offering each of you the opportunity to pledge to the oath that you have been elected to. If you would please repeat after me. I, say your name,
Ron Lichtel,
do accept and understand
do accept and understand
the charges of the office
the charges of the office
to which I am elected
to which I am elected,
and will work with diligence
and will work with diligence
for the betterment of the club.
for the betterment of our club.
I do solemnly pledge
I do solemnly pledge
that I will fulfill the duties of my office
that I will fulfill the duties of my office
in the Rotary Club of Rochester
in the Rotary Club of Rochester
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
in accordance with the club's purpose,
in accordance with the club's purpose,
Rotary's avenues of service,
Rotary's avenue of service,
its 6 areas of focus,
its areas of focus,
and our Constitution and bylaws.
and our Constitution and bylaws.
I want to thank each and every one of you for serving on next year's board and for committing to pledge to serve the club to the best of the ability. I hereby do declare that all officers and directors are hereby installed. Members, will you please join me in giving a round of applause and appreciation to their commitment to serve as our club's top leadership team for the coming 2021 Rotary year.
All right. Wayne, for his leadership during this past year. I expect the club will benefit for years to come from the many improvements in the club's membership, administration, marketing, communications, and new member recruitment that he nurtured. You've led our club through the COVID-19 challenge and established a new way to conduct many of our club's activities under the challenge of this social distancing period in our club's life. I know it hasn't been easy. Wayne, you were the right person for the difficult task, and the whole club thanks you. Because of your faithful leadership and service to our club, I'm presenting to you the past president's pin. Thank you for your service as president of our club and the remaining 4 years of service in the club's succession plan. Thank all of you for the trust you've placed in me and the leadership team of our club for the 2021 Rotary year. And thank you in advance for the help that we will surely need from all of you. On July 28th, I will present the 2021 leadership team, including our committee chairs and our club's goals and plans for the year. This ceremony brings this week's club meeting to an end. We will see all of you next week as we begin our 2021 year. Have a great week. Thank you for attending today's meeting. And before I leave, things to give to Wayne. Basically his plaque that he can mount his gavel that he was presented last year, and his past president's badge. It's been a wild year, and we've got another wild year coming. But we can do it. We're up for the challenge, and thanks again. You want to say anything, Wayne, before we leave?
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.